would like to start off by asking something about your own life. You have broken many glass ceilings. You've been, first of all, the Mahila Congress General Secretary. You've been a Rajya Sabha MP, Lok Sabha MP, a Union Minister, and all this you achieved at a very young age. How would you describe your political journey, and did it help that you came from a political family?
I'm no longer that young, but yes, I was fortunate. I started out very early, not in very happy circumstances because my father had passed away and a by-election came up. He was sitting MP from Sirsa in Haryana, and then Rajiv ji asked me to contest. We did. That time, the whole environment was against Congress. If you remember, there was the Bofors issue and whole lot of other things. And in Haryana, just few months prior to that, we had formed Lokdal government. They got 85 out of 90 seats. So, but under those circumstances, I contested first election. It was an experience. It was an experience which helped me greatly because I feel that adversity always strengthens you. So first election, I didn't win. Second time after 1 year, the by-elections, in the general elections in 89, I was denied ticket for Sirsa because of some internal politics within Congress during that time. But 91, I must say, then Rajiv ji said, he got feedback and he said, no, you will contest this time. I did. I worked hard on the ground and with God's grace, I won with the highest margin in Haryana in 91. Except that Rajiv ji didn't live to see my victory because he had really encouraged me. Since then, yes, I have been fortunate, and sometimes maybe when you lose elections, but I think one has to take it in your stride. You know, once you're in politics, and as we say in Haryana, बोखली में सिर दे दिया तो फिर मुस्लिमों से तो नहीं डर नहीं. So ठीक है, I won, I've lost, and people have been good to me.
And then you became a union minister in P.V. Narasimha Rao's government. You were the youngest minister at the time?
I was.
What did that feel like to be the youngest minister? Were you mollycoddled by all your colleagues?
But I was, they were nice to me. One can't say, they were very kind to me. Not just colleagues in the ministry, but the whole house was pretty kind to me. But then, as I say, I had worked hard even then because our ministry was such, HRD ministry. Arjun Singh ji was the cabinet minister and he gave me a lot of work. Nowadays you hear junior ministers always complaining that the senior ministers are not giving them enough. But I was given a lot of work and I used to handle parliament. So at that time, sometimes I used to get 10 questions in one day. Education and culture are both, very important ministries, departments. So people used to ask and sometimes the chair would club them together.
Now, I want to ask you about your home state Haryana, which is going to go to polls very soon. Now, for some decades now, Haryana has been considered a BJP stronghold, and I'm going to ask you about your chances, Congress chances in the state. You will probably say you've got a very good chance of winning this time. Why is it different this time? Why is BJP going to lose?
To be honest, BJP has never had much ground in Haryana, except for some isolated areas. It was only, I think, in 14 with Mr. Modi that they formed government in Delhi, and that kind of spilled over to Haryana. But even then, the majority was hardly that. They simply formed the government. That was all they got. 46. So 46 out of 90 doesn't really mean that they were strong. But yes, twice they have formed the government. Last time also they didn't get majority. So it's not a BJP stronghold. Last time they got 40. And because of their strength of government in Delhi and otherwise they managed to cobble it together, they got independence, they got one more party, the JJP, to support them. So that's how they lasted for 10 years. But now, I think last 10 years, we haven't really seen leadership or work on the ground where BJP is concerned. You ask anyone, there has been a total, I would say, disconnect between their political leadership, not just the chief minister, everybody, and the people. And that is very evident. Now you will see. You'll say, because I'm Congress, so I'm claiming, making tall claims. But you'll soon see that we'll win by an excellent majority.
नहीं, अगर नाराजगी है लोगों में सरकार के खिलाफ तो क्यों है वो नाराजगी?
नाराजगी इसीलिए है कि ज़मीन पर पहली बात तो इनका लोगों से भाजपा का पूरे हरियाणा में, पैन हरियाणा, ऐसा कुछ था नहीं ज़मीन पर. हरियाणा इज़ बेसिकली अ रूरल काइंड ऑफ अ स्टेट. तो इनका कुछ था नहीं. इनके मुख्यमंत्री भी बने. आई डोंट लाइक टू गेट पर्सनल. वन शुड नेवर गेट पर्सनल इन पॉलिटिक्स. But I don't think he had political experience. So maybe that also went against them more. Then even within the party, there were a lot of, pulls, pressures from different quarters within their party, within the government. There was total disconnect. And I think they're going to pay for that.
So, Selja ji, what do you think could be the strategy of the Congress in terms of forging an alliance for the upcoming assembly polls? Would it go solo or have a deal with the AAP, like in the recent Lok Sabha elections? Especially keeping in mind the political landscape in Haryana is very crowded, and both AAP and the Congress are India bloc partners.
Yeah, we are partners, but if you remember, it was decided that every state they can decide on their own. And our party has gone on record, first of the mark, to say that they will not have an alliance in the Vidhan Sabha. And I do think that Congress is strong on its own, and we will fight on our own.
On its own steam, yeah.
Yes.
Selja ji, you talked about internal politics in very early in your career. Today again, there are factionalism in Congress being talked about. There is Huda camp, Surjewala camp, Selja camp. So how important is to get united in run-up to the elections now? And we are very close to elections.
See, I'm very practical, and I'll answer you frankly. In any organization, and I always hold that in any organization, there'll always be, push, pull, and, elbowing for your space. That's part of any organization. Even in your organization, I'm sure you face it. So that will also always be there. It's, ambition, working, jostling for your space. All this is there. But having said that, I would also say that when elections come, then you'll hardly find, till tickets, yes, ticket distribution. But after that, I think everyone gets down to groundwork.
So you all will be together?
Yeah. When elections are there, everyone. Otherwise, everyone has his or her own ambitions. Ultimately...
So all these camps will converge into Congress camp, are you sure?
It is Congress camp. And all the, whatever, different people, ultimately they're all working for the party.
Ma'am, last time Congress put up a very strong fight in the assembly elections, but you fell short and BJP formed a government with JJP. This time in Lok Sabha election, you won as many seats as BJP. So what is the minimum number of seats you are willing to give to your party for these polls? And in case of hung assembly, are you looking for any post-poll alliances?
There will be no hung assembly. It will be Congress with an excellent majority. So this question doesn't arise.
Can you quantify the excellent term, ma'am? How many seats?
I can say the way people's mandate, the way they are thinking, because we are in touch with people on the ground. The thing is that they are totally against the BJP. We are fighting on 90 seats, and for us, every seat is important. We can go as high as possible.
शैलजा जी, आप अभी लोकसभा एमपी हैं और अभी क्योंकि कैंडिडेट्स फाइनल होने हैं असेंबली के लिए, अगर कोई चॉइस दी जाए तो आप विधानसभा का चुनाव लड़ना चाहेंगी? और इसी से जुड़ा हुआ सवाल है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी और ख़ास करके राहुल गांधी जी वो लगातार इस पे कास्ट सेंसस पे के लिए एक माहौल बना रहे हैं, उस पे जोर दे रहे हैं। तो ऐसे में आपको नहीं लगता कि कांग्रेस को अभी जो 3 जगह जो कांग्रेस की सरकार है वहाँ कहीं भी दलित कम्युनिटी से कोई चीफ मिनिस्टर नहीं है? 2 जगह अपर कास्ट है, 1 जगह ओबीसी है। तो आपको लगता है कि कांग्रेस को अगर कहीं भी वो जो भी अभी असेंबली इलेक्शंस आने वाले हैं उसमें दलित कम्युनिटी को भी ये एक चीफ मिनिस्टर के तौर पर उनको रखना चाहिए, किसी को मौका मिलना चाहिए उनको?
ऐसा है, लोकसभा में नतीजे आए, अब विधानसभा में हमें पूरा विश्वास है बहुत अच्छे नतीजे आएंगे, सरकार बनेगी। ये ज़रूर है कि कास्ट इज़ अ रियलिटी इन आवर कंट्री और सबकी उम्मीदें भी होती हैं, चाहे व्यक्तिगत रूप से हो चाहे समुदाय के रूप से हो, होता है। और इसमें भी कोई दो राय नहीं कि एससी ने, अनुसूचित जातियों ने बहुत मेजॉरिटी में कांग्रेस को वोट दिया है, वैसे भी बैकबोन रही है कांग्रेस पार्टी की, तो उम्मीदें होती हैं। और अगर और लोग अपने आप को या कोई समुदाय या कोई भी मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं या उम्मीद करते हैं, तो आज के दिन जागरूकता बहुत बढ़ चुकी है, तो फिर ऐसी समुदाय क्यों नहीं? ये भी एक सवाल आता है। इतना कॉन्फिडेंस हम में भी होना चाहिए कि हम भी खड़े होकर आज के दिन ये कहें कि हम क्यों नहीं।
आप असेंबली का चुनाव लड़ेंगी?
मैंने पहले भी कहा कि मेरी इच्छा थी, मैंने लोकसभा से पहले भी कहा था कि मैं इस बार, क्योंकि सेंटर की पॉलिटिक्स काफ़ी की है, लोकसभा राज्यसभा, तो इस बार इच्छा थी कि स्टेट में जाकर काम करें। एक सच्चाई है कि लोगों के काम जो होते हैं वो स्टेट से ज़्यादा संबंधित रहते हैं, तो स्टेट में जाकर काम करना है, करना चाहिए। ये मेरी इच्छा है कि इस बार स्टेट में जाएं और वहाँ काम करें। बाकी फाइनल फैसला तो हाई कमांड ही करेगा, हमारे यहाँ हमेशा फाइनल वहीं से होता है, तो लेकिन इच्छा, बिल्कुल इच्छा है।
You say you're confident of winning the elections, the Vidhan Sabha elections on your own. But surely parties like JJP, which won 10 seats last time, and also that Lokdal and BSP alliance have a significant role. Or how do you think they'll impact you or the BJP in the coming elections?
You know, again, JJP has lost ground. This time you will not find many takers for JJP party. The party has broken up. Even at that time, they cobbled it together, and most of the candidates, MLAs who won, were from mostly Congress party, like that. So today it's already breaking up. Most of the MLAs have already left them. I don't see much chance for JJP in this election, at least.
They'll be cutting into your
Oh, you
vote.
mean BSP and Lokdal?
BSP and Lokdal.
I really don't think so, because Lokdal performance was abysmal in Lok Sabha. BSP also has lost lot of ground. So this alliance may have been done at some in whatever way, but you will see when the results come that this alliance will also come a cropper.
How important do you think it is to go into the elections with a chief ministerial face? Should your party be doing this as you get ready for the elections?
You see, our party has certain ways of doing things, and till now you would have observed that in most of the cases, I would say, mostly, our party doesn't announce CM candidate beforehand. When you're in opposition. When you're in government, then obviously the chief minister who's there for the last, whatever, the incumbent, leads the party. But when you're in opposition, no. party hardly ever projects anybody as chief ministerial face.
Ma'am, you've been a member of both houses of parliament, you've been a minister, you've held various positions in the organization. So, do you think that this time you are in the running of being the chief minister in case the Congress gets a majority?
You know, that's a very interesting question because you're asking me directly. So, as I said, individually and community wise, people do have their ambitions. Why not?
मैम आप अलग कार्यक्रम कर रही हैं, सुरजेवाला जी अलग कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं, दीपेंद्र हुड्डा अलग यात्रा निकाल रहे हैं, तो चुनाव से पहले ये बेहतर संदेश नहीं होता कि सभी लोग एकजुट होकर के सामने जनता के सामने होते? गुटबाजी एकदम बिल्कुल नज़र आ रही है, तो आपका क्या कहना है इस पर?
सब कर तो कांग्रेस के लिए ही रहे हैं।
अलग अलग गुट नज़र आ रहे हैं,
ठीक है, अलग अलग जगह अलग अलग हिसाब से करना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
Ma'am, what are the key issues in this election? What will be the major poll plank for Congress party?
You know, there are major issues now in Haryana. For example, the poor feel totally left out. They feel left out. The Kisan feels left out. अब ये लास्ट में announcements बहुत किए हैं इन्होंने सबके लिए, lot of people, but I don't think there are any takers for that anymore. The unemployment, it's a huge issue in Haryana. Then there have been scams, there have been paper leaks. Most of the, there's a lot of backlog, vacancies. I would say that if we come down to few major issues, unemployment would be there, the poor would be there, also connected with unemployment and inflation, महंगाई, Kisan issues, again a major issue is there. So all these things are there. Then of course there are other things also. But I would say, and then there are some decisions which the government takes. They've announced Parivar Pehchan Patra. Parivar Pehchan Patra has also proved to be such a scam. आप बनाओ, उसमें गलत कुछ हो जाए, how can you ever get it rectified? So the poor people have to keep going round. So then education. Who goes to government schools? The poorest. They're closing down primary schools everywhere. A lot of issues which are actually affecting a common person's life. You go to small shopkeepers, small business people, today whether it's GST, whether it's other taxes, the whole environment is vitiated. Then corruption. You know, they like to show in media and otherwise that corruption per control and all, but I would in fact request you to go down any road in Haryana and talk about corruption. Go to any town. How, the log kahenge ji. See, I can't say that it was always corruption free. Let's be realistic. But people will tell you कि जी पहले जो 500 में होता था वो 5000 में हो रहा है. So, it affects people directly. A lot of such things are taking place and people are now looking for a change.
Salilji, I have a question about women and safety of women.
I'm glad because this was going to be my next, safety of women, safety of the crime against the weaker sections, women, SCs, all that is going up in Haryana.
In that context, I wanted to ask you whether the government in West Bengal handled that case in the Kolkata rape case properly, or could they have done? I know Rahul Gandhi has commented on it, but I would like you as a woman leader.
As a woman, I mean, honestly, again, it took me a few days to read the details because as a woman, it affects you so much. It was so gruesome. I didn't want to even read about it, what you could make out. So I didn't want to know the details. this kind of thing happening anywhere, and it's increasing day by day. Government has to be, any administration before the government has to be very sensitive and respond immediately before it blows out. It happens time and again, but many times you find that people are being shielded. As far as Bengal incident is concerned, I think it's still going on, and we have yet to come to any conclusion. So I really wouldn't want to.
Without diminishing the horror of what happened in Kolkata, do you think that we as Indians take notice of these kind of incidents only when it happens in urban areas, when it happens to an upper middle class family, and not so much when it happens in, because there are like 56 rapes that happen every hour in India.
And much of it goes unreported, and even if it's reported, who takes action? You're absolutely right. It happens to a certain section and then it's taken note of, and then the media, I think media plays a major role in this. What is, exposed. So that also draws attention. I would say that, as you said, without going into the horror of things, this is happening in our society. This is happening, why does it happen that such people do it without fear? That's a question all of us should ask, from the society, from the administration. That what has happened in the earlier cases? People feel कि ठीक है 2 दिन 4 दिन की बात है, जेल काट आएंगे. That fear has to be instilled in such criminals, potential criminals. They should see that somebody did this happened to them. I think media should also then show the outcome of someone, the criminal, what has happened to that person, whether he has got the punishment that he deserves. Only then it may be a deterrent, and quick, fast justice.
Then would you then recommend or support the death penalty for rape cases as being demanded?
Of course, there are degrees, and that should come out very clearly, because so many times you find a judge in Bengal, Calcutta High Court, saying certain things about girls. If these people, हमारे यहाँ कहावत है कि अगर रक्षक ही भक्षक हो जाएगा या बाड़ी खेत को खाएगी तो प्रोटेक्ट कौन करेगा? So when such things come out from judiciary or from those law enforcement agencies, then I'm afraid it weakens the case.
Just to since we're kind of talking about this unemployment, education, status of women, Haryana particularly has this thing. It doesn't rank very highly in terms of many of the development indices. And, there is this thing about the badlands of Haryana. We all know about it, the Khap Panchayats, this, if and when you do come to power, or as you get ready for elections, how does this message percolate down to the village, to the Khap Panchayat, which is, which kind of takes so many decisions on behalf and for women?
Let me put that record straight. Khap Panchayats are not bad. These are social groups. So sometimes maybe one small thing gets blown out of proportion, but many times, and most of the time, they sit and resolve social issues. So Khap Panchayat is not a bad thing in that sense. It also encourages bhaichara in the society.
I think again it is the English media which has given that connotation
Because
of
without understanding
what Khap Panchayat does.
how Khap Panchayats work or function.
So, Seljaji, any discussion on Haryana politics, I think, is incomplete without any reference to Ayaram Gayaram politics, which originated in your state in the 60s. So, do you think similar politics will play out post October 4?
No, this time I don't foresee that. I don't foresee
So, it's going to be Congress outright winners?
Yeah, because people are choosing Congress. So I don't think anyone would want to do that.
Okay, so no switchover potential? Yeah.
No, I don't think, and I don't foresee it. Absolutely.
पर पहले हुआ है जब मेजॉरिटी मिलने के बाद पूरी की पूरी एक पार्टी तोड़ के और सरकार बनी है।
80 की बात कर रहे हैं, 82 सॉरी, 80 में आ गए थे वो और फिर 82 में इलेक्शन, बिल्कुल 80 में नहीं। लेकिन अब तो ऐसा है ना, एंटी डिफेक्शन भी आ गया उसके बाद, तो बहुत सी चीज़ें हुई हैं, अभी इतना आसान नहीं है।
नहीं, एक इस तरह का वो है जो चर्चा हरियाणा में भी है कि अगर भूपेंद्र हुड्डा उनको मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बनाया जाता है और कांग्रेस को मेजॉरिटी मिलती है तो हो सकता है उनके साथ ज़्यादातर लोग शिफ्ट हों। इस तरह की कोई संभावना आपको दिखती है?
मुझे ऐसा कुछ नहीं लगता। या प्लीज।
About actually Vinesh Fogart also. So, ma'am, Vinesh Fogart missed out on medal despite being so close, and some people allege the political conspiracy as well. So, do you see the treatment meted out to some wrestlers would be an issue in Haryana polls, women wrestlers, and will Congress field her in Haryana assembly elections or offer a Rajya Sabha seat?
As far as fielding Vinesh is concerned, I can't comment on that at this moment. And but yes, I do feel strongly about what has happened to Vinesh. She was that close, and I think there are a lot of unanswered questions. How it happened, what happened, who was in charge? You can't blame a poor girl, an athlete, a sports person. There's a whole team that goes with her. They are supposed to keep a watch on everything. And this happens everywhere in every country. What was the Indian Olympic Association doing? What were those nutritionists or whoever, they are supposed to watch over every sports person. And especially so when you're so near that goal, the ultimate goal. So what happened? These questions are not being answered at all. Rather, I would say all is not well in that wrestling world, because even earlier they all had to sit. The women were given very bad, rough treatment. They were dragged on the roads by the police. And yet, look at the grit and determination of this girl, how she worked hard and reached where the country wished to see her. So it's not just a matter of Vinesh that her personal disappointment. It's the country's disappointment. And someone has to look into it.
See, Jajib, there was another issue which is a hot topic, lateral entry. So obviously Congress protested a lot and government had to withdraw it. But Congress also did a lot of lateral entries, and that time also there was no reservation provision in that. So how do you respond to that?
It has to evolve over time. Today it is an issue. So we will speak about it. How can you say that 70 years ago, 20 years ago, what happened, and today because you've done it, we are going to do it. Today it is an issue and we are raising our voice for it. Reservation has to be followed.
So will the party ask for a complete withdrawal of the policy? Right now only ad has been withdrawn, this particular ad.
Yeah, I think the whole policy needs a relook. Whole policy needs a relook. You want to attract the best, but you want to attract the best from all sections.
So you want reservation to be included in it? Or
Yes, why not?
Or just the entire policy should be just junk?
No, that
letter?
will be part of it, no?
Okay.
When the entire policy is redone, this will have to be a part of that.
Ma'am, you've talked about the issues that will be important in the Haryana polls. Do you think that the Agnipath military recruitment scheme and MSP would be a major issue?
Bilkul. Because the farmers had been sitting on dharna for long, they'd been agitating, even today they are agitating. So MSP is a major issue and we have promised them that we will give it legal guarantee. Rahul ji is on record. So, yeah. Agniveer, yes, it is a big issue in Haryana because we do contribute about 10% to the armed forces. And, it's a dual thing. One is anyone who goes into the army goes with a wish to serve the nation. They are ready to make the supreme sacrifice. They're not afraid of that. should not happen, but it happens. Once an Agniveer makes a supreme sacrifice, he is not a shaheed. He'll simply get some muavza. Whereas a proper soldier who makes a sacrifice will be called shaheed. The other benefits will come. So just to say 1 crore milna ya kya milna, that's not enough. That's one aspect. The other aspect is, are you doing justice to the army? And that's a very crucial point. If you have these kind of people who are only there to serve, and then later, as you say, you'll give them jobs as doormen, as security officers and all. I mean, do they deserve that? Having served the nation, the army? So it is a big issue in Haryana.
Haryana is a very caste-ridden state, perhaps more so than other states. And you yourself come from a Dalit background. How difficult was it to maneuver and, come through that kind of a milieu?
See, I have faced personal abuses. I have faced personal comments in my hearsay or otherwise. That's okay, but those are, done by people who know you and who are afraid that you may go ahead, or, it's that kind of thing. But I think today the youth of every community understands the realities. So while there may be these issues, there may be caste issues, but today people are acceptable, and I personally feel that people have been very good with me. And in Haryana we say Chhattis Biradri, means all communities. Chhattis Biradris accept me, and I'm very happy about that SCs and all other communities give me that much regard and respect. I've worked for everybody.
You have achieved a lot in your political career. Are there any unfinished tasks and unfulfilled goals?
Definitely.
Tell us a few.
My role in the state.
Yes.
Definitely. I make no bones about it.
Let's say you do become the Chief Minister of Haryana, and then I have a question about sports actually. Haryana sends a disproportionately large number of sportsmen in the country. If you were to become the Chief Minister, what would you do to make Haryana the sports capital?
Number one, you have to encourage sports people from the beginning, whether it is in schools, whether it's through private academies, whether it's through government academies, giving them the right equipment, because the potential is there. That has been proven. That is one thing. The other is also incentives. You have to incentivize, whether it's government jobs, whether it's giving them due respect. Whatever needs to be done, I think we need to do that, because these people, so many of them, you've seen these girls and boys, they overcome a lot of personal adversity. Some of them come from very poor families, and yet they work their way up. They work hard. Girls, boys. So I think we really need to not just encourage, but also recognize that and respect and give them their due.
There's a sort of a paradox here that Haryana is a sort of a patriarchal society, but at the same time you have these really famous women wrestlers who have been nurtured and encouraged by their fathers. So do you see any contradiction there?
It is there.
It's there?
Yeah, bilkul, definitely it is there. Sometimes in society you will find, and we see it so often, that women are oppressed. But when it comes to encouraging, I for one get a lot of respect. So, and I personally also like to encourage women, whether it's in politics, whether it's in other things. But yes, once you're on your way to achieve something, then everyone comes together and they do try to help you. It is a paradox, but I think that's the way our society is.
So, Saljati, you've been a former Union Social Justice Minister too. So, this much delayed census exercise is likely to kick off next month or something. So, there are suggestions, to have an extra column to determine the OBC caste population. What do you think about it?
Yeah, that Rahulji has been asking for that we should have a caste census. Today you talk of everything and the quotas and people agitating, and even The courts time and again have questioned the government that where is your data? So without data, who are you planning for? And that's a very valid reason for having a caste census. People should know where, to whom the resources are accruing, and you have to focus. Focused planning will only take place when caste census is done. And then it's for the society, for the country, for the government to decide who deserves, who doesn't deserve, how much more is needed where. And then I also feel then there will be more efficient utilization of funds and resources.
So the upcoming census exercise will be a good opportunity. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
My question is that Jat versus non-Jat have been a almost permanent fault line in Haryana politics. And we have seen that Jats, they have not voted for BJP in large numbers, but the party has counted on support from the non-Jat communities to do well. Now they have a chief minister who comes from OBC community. They have a face in Mr. Khattar, who is a Punjabi Hindu.
Yeah.
So do you think this Jat versus non-Jat politics will make an impact again? And if not, why do you think so?
I don't think so. I don't think. Some parties may have tried to play that game, but today every citizen in Haryana, every Haryanvi is a sufferer. So I think it's going to cut across all communities, and this game can't be played anymore.